Hey guys, Mr. B here, bringing you another wonderful video. This one's going to be quick, and it's going to be on some of the basics of the TI calculator and how we can use that and help us with our first unit on quadratics. There's a bunch of little things that we can actually do to help us out significantly. Um, so let's get right to it. All right, so this is my web at emu, and it's basically just the same thing that you guys have at TI-83 Plus. And it's no different if you have a TI-84 or anything like that. It's pretty much the same thing. Um, so one of the things that we can actually do, and one of the fundamentals of the TI is that it's a graphing calculator. We can graph a quadratic function just like this guy. Sorry. So in order to do that, we basically would go to our y equals function right there, and just plot this as it is. So your x is located right here, right below your mode button. X squared minus 6x minus 16. So now that we have that guy plotted in, if we go to graph, hopefully something pretty will show up. So here we go. So yeah, that's actually a nice looking graph. And you can see you got a few things. You've got a couple x-intercepts over here, or solutions, zeros. And one of the things we can use the TI-83 for, if we were doing a multiple choice question, we could use it to check our answers, or we can use it to actually get the answers for multiple choice questions. Now, if we were doing a long answer questions where we required to show workings, we could check our answer and see if we had the same roots as using quadratic formula as we got with this guy. So in order to do that, we go second function, and then we hit this trace button, and we're looking to get this calculate function right here. So calculate. You see, there's a bunch of different things. Values, kind of cool. Zero is what we're after. So we're looking for the zero. So we'd press 2. And it asks us for a left bound. And all left bound is you see my cursor here, right here. I'm gonna try and find this root right here first, or this 0. So I'm gonna put my cursor left of the 0. So after I press left bound, I press enter. Then I go right bound, and I go a little bit down. And so it's a little bit right of it, and I press enter. And you see my two arrows here are sort of centered on this root here. Okay, so it narrows it down a little bit. And all the calculator is going to do is start guessing until it gets the right guess. And if I hit enter, I get my 0. So my 0, I'll write it over here, is um, x is equal to -2. And there's going to be another one, of course. And we'll find that here now. X is equal to -2. And we do the same process again, except we're going to focus on this guy over here. So second function, calculate, go to 0. We're going to make a new bound over here. So my left bound this time is going to be below. Where's this guy? It's down way down. Oh, here we go. All right, so here's my left bound. Hit enter. Go just above the 0. Go right bound. Enter. And then we hit enter again. And it gives us a 0 at 8. X equals 8, y equals 0. So that's my second 0. So let me just copy this guy down. X equals 8. And that's basically my solutions to this guy when y is equal to 0. Okay? So that's one really, really cool thing about the graphing calculator that allows us to do. Now, even though we've gone past the first couple sections there where we were working on vertex and things like that, you can also find the vertex of a quadratic with the TI. Um, Now, if you notice, the vertex is not present on the screen here. So in order to be able to find the vertex, we're going to have to zoom out. And you can do that via the zoom button. And go down to zoom out and hit enter. And notice it doesn't do it right away. We have to hit enter again and it zooms out for us. So hit enter again. And here we go. It zooms out for us. So now that I have the vertex present on the screen, I can find it. So again, we'll go to our second function, calculate. And if you looked at our graph, we had a minimum because it opened up. And when it opens up, we didn't have a reflection, so it's a minimum. So we'll go 3. And it does the same thing. So it asks for left bound and right bound. So we want to go left of the vertex and right of the vertex. Enter. And here we go. And we got our vertex to be that you could consider that to be 3 and negative 25 to be our vertex. You notice that I kind of made my bounds were kind of high. This one was actually above here. And the farther away your bounds are, the more of an approximation your answer is actually going to be. I bet you if I did that again and I went down really, really close, I'd get 3. Let's try it. So minimum again, let's say left bound. So I'm just going to go slightly left. And I'm just going to go slightly right. Down a little further smidgen. Here we go. And 2.99. So yeah, it's a bit closer. You notice the last digit on the other one was 3. So I would be safe to assume that that would be 3 negative 25. Okay, for the vertex. So that's just a couple of examples, guys, on how the quadratic uh, graphing function of your TI can be very useful. Now, let's say, for instance, you were wondering, someone said, I found the solutions of this guy to be -2 and -8. How can I check that a different way? Well, if you go to a second function calc again, you notice there's a value function. I can always use the value function. If I sub in a value for x, it'll find the value of y for me. So -2 is x. It'll show the value of y is 0, what it should be, and it points it out on the graph. And I can do it for any value. Let me try um, -5. And I'll go graph. Oh, I didn't mean to go graph. I meant to enter. Value again. Let me try this one more time. -5. Enter. Boom. Gives me negative. It gives me y is equal to 39. Now recognize that sometimes if the value is not in your screen, so like there's this only goes over so far. This only goes over so far. This goes up and down so far. If it's outside your window ranges, it'll come up window error. Then it's not going to do it. I'll show you what happens. Second function calc. Let me choose a massive number here. Let me try 20 and see if that gives us something big. Let me go even bigger. Go 100. See, it goes error, invalid. So it's outside the window. So if I wanted to be able to do that, I'd have to adjust my window. So let me go back to it. So you notice here your window was set to an X max of 48, and then because we zoomed out on our own, zoomed out using the function, it gave us some weird thing. So let's just put in something large, 200. Oops, 200 here. And then go back to graph, and then let's try it again. Even though our graph looks really weird, it's just for the point of showing you this. And hopefully it gives us something back. Yeah, so now 100's in our range, we can actually find y. So you see how that's a useful function if you're on, you want to check an answer, you just subbed it in, and you're not sure. So that's a couple of ways our TI can be useful for quadratics, guys. Really, really important. Um, if you got one to use it properly, you'll all have access to one on a public exam. It's a great tool. Um, so if there's any questions that anything else you want me to show, just let me know and I'll do another video. All right, guys. Good luck with your studying. Um, take her easy.